Hello, I am Umbrenero and welcome back to Umbrenero's Life. Today's video is my October 2025 plan with me. Another month, another theme based off of the ETBs that I have. And for the month of October, I had a challenge because the ETB that I randomly chose, I have two different designed boxes, and it was the base Sword and Shield set. So one box was blue, the other one was red, and then there's gold accents. So I had a good little grouping of colors to work with to do my designs. So let's get into it. So we're starting off with my monthly calendar and my monthly log. They are actually going to be combined this time on the cover page for the month. And I'll say this right now. This spread took over 40 minutes to do because of the design feature that I decided to do. So as you can see, I'm going through putting in all of these lines, and on one side I decided it was going to be a dark red with a bright blue. Other side was going to be dark blue with a bright red. And here I'm just going around right where my calendar was going to be, and this took quite a while. And I did use the ruler for certain areas of this because of how I wanted this to look. And I was being slightly perfectionist, but not fully, because as you can see, some of these lines are not perfect. And you'll see later on while I'm doing this spread a couple of the mistakes that I did end up making. So these pages, well, not pages, this spread was very detailed and it took quite a while. And as you can see here, I decided to bust out the gold gel pen because gold is an accent color on the boxes, so I wanted to use it as an accent here. And I honestly was having a lot of issues with it. It was being very difficult, not wanting to cooperate. So every little bit here, I was trying to get the ink to actually go towards the tip of the pen. And I think that is another one of the factors that slowed me down on doing this spread. But I do like how it does pop out. And after I was done with this spread, I made the executive decision that this pen was not going to be used the entire time, and it would be used just for special areas where I would need it. So here I had the first side done. Now it was to start numbering the calendar. And here, I did not notice at this time, but there was a major mistake on my calendar right here. And I did not catch it until I was done putting all of these little lines on the right page. But I found a fix. And luckily on the right hand page, I didn't have to do as difficult of lines. I didn't have to go in between letters and all of that. So this side was a lot easier when it came to adding the color and design element. But since this was all the same spread, I brought the gold gel pen back to go one more time to do it for these. And after I got done filling in all of the gold, I was putting in the calendar days, and I realized I missed Wednesday the 1st. So I did fix it. I fixed it in a way that worked, and this is where I realized that. So I just took a gold pen, dotted over, and wrote those days. Made it work. But there is my little monthly log. Not perfect. But for October, we are bringing back the monthly tarot. And this is going to get used quite a bit this month. And this time, instead of going and doing all the lines in gold, I decided I am doing them in the darker color that corresponds to that page, just to make it a lot easier. And this time I made sure Wednesday the 1st was actually on my calendar, because I did not want to miss that one more time. So right there, I was just double checking, making sure I had it right. And then I started drawing the other half of the calendar. But this is not a normal calendar. There is an 8th column that I have 3 boxes in. Those ones will be for the monthly tarot itself. So the 3 that I usually do at the start of the month. And the rest of the boxes in the normal calendar are for the daily tarot. So we'll see how this goes, but we got both sides all done, and then it was numbering. This is where I made sure I had all the right days. I was looking at a calendar, actually 2 calendars, just to make sure I wasn't forgetting a day again. And then for the monthly part of the tarot, I decided to use A, B, and C as the 3 not notifications. The 3 ways of noting that those are the monthly ones. And then I completely started writing my title way too big. But that happens. So then it's like, alright, I'm not even attempting this font. I'm going with quick. But up next is 2 spreads rolled together as one. My goals and things stuff, and my section for the stuff that I help my dad with. And this is a section where the gold gel pen does make a return. But I was trying to think, how do I want to do this on this page and make it fit the theme? And I decided, you know what? We're gonna do this. So I started adding in the lines again around the border of where the goals and things area would be, with the color that would have been on the left, which is the dark red, and then on the bottom, which would have been this page on the right, I did as the dark blue, just so that way I have the theme carried throughout here, because it does get simplified as I get farther into this, because I wanted to get done with this. So here I started doing the blue and did the same thing. I had everything divided equally in half. Yeah, there was a little bit more space at the bottom, but I didn't want to write all the way at the bottom of the page here. But some quick little things. The monthly tarot only took me 5 minutes to set up. This took me about 7.5 minutes, which isn't bad when you really think about it, considering how much detail did go on this singular page. So here is where I decided, alright, we gotta go erase everything I can, and then we need to put in the gold line. And at first I was just gonna leave it right there in the center. Then I decided, nope, we're going all the way through, just so the pop of gold is fully there. Then quickly went in and wrote the title of the areas. And yes, I did write the dad stuff backwards. And I'm actually impressed that I didn't misspell stuff. Up next is my weekly log. And this first little bit here, I did just to kind of see if the design I wanted to do would work. And since there's 4 days that very first week of October, I decided, alright, right page, you're going to be Wednesday through Saturday. And left-hand page would be Sunday through Tuesday. And then a little area for some thoughts. So here I decided, let's just start doing it. I wanted to carry the theme throughout, but I didn't want it to be in your face like a few of the pages were, aka my calendar, and then the goals and things was slightly, but not fully. So we got done with doing all of the red outlining, then was for the darker blue outlining. And I ended up catching myself before I made a big mistake at the end of the month. I actually did not count correctly, so I forgot about Halloween. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, and I was right here and I'm like, wait a second, this doesn't seem right. But I didn't do anything about it right away because I wanted to start putting in the other days. So I spread everything out equally and added little gold dots to each box just to bring that gold element back into each page without using a stubborn gold gel pen. So I kept going, made sure I did not skip any pages and write the wrong dates. I actually did good on that for once. Here. But this spread took roughly 18 minutes to do. And just with drawing the boxes, it made sense. And right there is where I decided to make my little fix for forgetting Halloween. And I think I just noticed. Did I actually make an error? I did. I put Saturday the 25th. Whoops. But Hey, you don't notice some of these things until you are editing, so. Whoopsies. Like, I even looked at that page, like, something seems off, and I didn't notice it while I was doing it. Oh well, it's fixed now. But with the weekly log done, it was time to move to my migration area, which was originally going to be this entire lower half of the page. But because of my oops, I decided I am going to use the space that I have and use it to the best of my ability. So I moved the box over one so that way it wasn't officially connected. Did a blue outline because that was the page I was on. And then did it in a similar-ish fashion to how I was doing the headers. The only difference is I wanted to have 3 gold dots at the top of the box, so I did 1-ish letter per box. And that was about it for my migration. So overall, it is a very simple theme. Are there mistakes? Yes. Does it surprise me? No. Will I use it? Yes. And that is the important thing. So you got to work with what you have. And if you make a mistake along the way, that's fine. So thank you for watching, and until next time, I am Umbrenero. Bye!